Over 6 decades have passed, yet Errol Flynn, the iconic Australian actor from Hollywood's golden era, remains unforgettable. He captivated audiences with his roles as both a charming rogue and a heroic figure in classic films like Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood. Flynn's impact during the 1930s and 1940s was profound, but it was his extravagant lifestyle and penchant for indulgence that added to his mystique. Recently, his children have stepped forward to share insights into their father's life, shedding light on the secrets that have long been hidden. They reveal that during his youth, Flynn faced serious allegations, including a shocking claim of homicide. These revelations paint a more complex picture of the man behind the screen, offering a glimpse into the struggles and controversies that shaped his legacy. As his children recount their experiences, they invite us to reconsider the narrative surrounding this legendary figure, challenging the perceptions that have lingered for decades. Born on June 20, 1909, in Hobart, Tasmania, Errol Flynn's early life was marked by a spirit of adventure and rebellion that would shape his future in Hollywood. Growing up in this remote part of Australia, he spent much of his childhood exploring the rugged landscapes and embracing a lifestyle that often defied societal norms. From a young age, Flynn exhibited a strong rebellious streak, frequently challenging authority figures and pushing the boundaries of acceptable behavior. His experiences in Tasmania were filled with a sense of freedom and a penchant for living on the edge, which hinted at the charismatic yet tumultuous life that lay ahead. Flynn's formative years were not without controversy. He often found himself in trouble, whether it was for his mischievous antics or his refusal to conform to the expectations of those around him. This defiance was not merely a phase, it was a reflection of his personality that would later resonate with audiences in his film roles. The adventurous spirit he cultivated during his childhood would become a defining characteristic of his Hollywood persona, allowing him to embody the swashbuckling heroes that captivated moviegoers. As he navigated his youth, Flynn's charm and charisma began to emerge, setting the stage for his future stardom. His early life experiences in Tasmania, filled with both excitement and challenges, laid the groundwork for the legendary actor he would become. The combination of his rebellious nature and his thirst for adventure would ultimately lead him to a successful career in the film industry, where he would become one of the most iconic figures of his time. At the age of 7, Flynn's defiant nature manifested when he ran away from home after being punished for engaging in inappropriate activities with a young girl under the guise of playing doctor. This early act of rebellion set the tone for a tumultuous youth. By the time he reached 17, Flynn's rebellious behavior escalated significantly. He faced expulsion from school, a clear indication of his disregard for authority and rules. His involvement in an Australian gang further highlighted his inclination towards a life of defiance and adventure. Even his own mother, in describing him as a devil in boy's clothing, foresaw the challenges that lay ahead. This characterization not only reflected her concern, but also hinted at the complexity of Flynn's character. His early years were marked by a struggle against societal norms, a theme that would continue to play out throughout his life and career. The combination of his rebellious spirit and the challenges he faced would shape him into the iconic figure he became in Hollywood. Flynn's self-styled narratives of his pre-Hollywood life, as recounted in various interviews, and his autobiography, often blend truth with embellishment. He portrayed himself as a swashbuckling figure, at times a ship captain, a gold prospector, and even a trader. One of the more controversial aspects of his early adventures was his claim to have tricked indigenous people in New Guinea into working on plantations, and then selling them into indentured servitude. These stories, however, must be approached with caution, as Flynn was known for weaving tales that blurred the lines between fact and fiction. His accounts often painted him as a daring adventurer, living a life filled with excitement and danger. Yet, the accuracy of these tales is questionable, as they reflect a man who enjoyed the spotlight and the allure of a larger-than-life persona. The stories he told captivated audiences, but they also raised ethical concerns about the treatment of indigenous people and the realities of colonial exploitation. Flynn's narratives serve as a reminder of the complexities of storytelling and the fine line between heroism and exploitation. During one of his journeys through New Guinea, Errol Flynn found himself in a perilous situation. While exploring the dense jungle with his assistant, they were suddenly attacked. In a dramatic turn of events, Flynn claimed that he defended himself by injuring one of the attackers in the neck. This incident was significant enough that he asserted he was tried and acquitted for his actions, although the truth of these events remains uncertain. The wild and unpredictable nature of his experiences in New Guinea contributed to the larger-than-life persona that Flynn would later embody in Hollywood. However, his time in the region was cut short when he contracted a severe case of malaria. This health setback prompted him to leave New Guinea, marking a turning point in his tumultuous life. These early escapades not only shaped his character, but also laid the groundwork for the mystique and intrigue that surrounded him, enhancing his reputation as a daring and adventurous figure in the film industry. While captaining a boat on the Sepik River in New Guinea, Errol Flynn's life took an unexpected turn that would lead him into the world of acting. His entry into Hollywood was anything but typical, reflecting the adventurous spirit that characterized his early years. At that time, Flynn was immersed in the exotic surroundings of New Guinea, far removed from the glitz and glamour of the film industry. Fate intervened when a film crew shooting a project titled In the Wake of the Bounty in Tahiti sought additional footage. They needed a boat for some B-roll shots and hired Flynn's vessel. This seemingly minor encounter would prove to be a significant catalyst for his future in cinema. Flynn's charm and presence caught the attention of the filmmakers, leading to opportunities that would eventually propel him into the spotlight. His journey from the remote rivers of New Guinea to the silver screen was marked by chance and serendipity, setting the stage for a remarkable career in Hollywood. During the shoot, Flynn's charismatic presence and swashbuckling demeanor caught the eye of an executive involved in the production. This executive recognized in Flynn the perfect type for the role of Fletcher Christian. He saw potential in this unassuming boat captain, who had a natural charm and a magnetic quality that drew people in. While In the Wake of the Bounty was not the film that catapulted Flynn to stardom, it did plant the seed of ambition in him, igniting a desire to become an actor. This period was crucial for Flynn, as he began to understand the power of performance and storytelling. His personal life during this time added an intriguing layer to his narrative. Flynn was known for his adventurous spirit and a lifestyle that often mirrored the daring characters he would later portray on screen. His relationships and escapades contributed to his growing reputation, making him a figure of fascination in Hollywood. This blend of ambition and personal intrigue set the stage for his future successes in the film industry. Flynn reportedly stole and sold some of her jewelry to finance a trip to England. The journey, according to Flynn, though his stories were often embellished, took him on a roundabout route filled with startling adventures spanning from Hong Kong to the Philippines. His audacious journey took an unexpected turn when he conned his way into a British theater company, posing as a major star in Australia. He provided the company with a list of impressive credits, all of which were fabricated. This bold move led to Flynn's casting in a Warner Brothers murder mystery being filmed in London. The success of his role in the London production quickly caught the attention of Hollywood. Flynn's charm and charisma helped him navigate the competitive world of acting, and his early experiences shaped his future in the film industry. His knack for storytelling and ability to captivate audiences became hallmarks of his career, setting the stage for his rise to fame. Flynn's charisma, rugged charm, and natural screen presence prompted an invitation to Tinseltown, thus setting in motion Errol Flynn's Hollywood career. This journey began with a chance encounter on the Sepik River, where his adventurous spirit and striking looks caught the attention of those in the film industry. His life was characterized by a series of audacious moves, both on and off the screen, which made him a captivating figure in Hollywood. Flynn quickly became known for his swashbuckling roles, embodying the dashing hero that audiences adored. However, his initial matrimony was tumultuous and marked by violence, reflecting the chaos that often surrounded his personal life. Despite the challenges he faced, including scandals and legal troubles, Flynn's magnetic presence continued to draw fans and filmmakers alike. His ability to command attention and evoke emotion made him a lasting icon in the film industry, even as his personal struggles unfolded in the public eye. Arriving in New York in 1934 marked a pivotal moment in Errol Flynn's life, opening the door to new professional opportunities and complex personal relationships. His journey across the Atlantic, vividly recounted in his autobiography My Wicked Ways, was an adventure filled with intriguing encounters. Among his fellow passengers were notable figures, including famous stage actors, a Russian princess, and a French film star named Lily Damata. This diverse group added excitement to the voyage, creating an atmosphere ripe for stories and connections. Flynn, with his charm and charisma, quickly became a focal point of attention. Little did he know that this chance meeting with Damata would evolve into a significant and often tumultuous chapter in his life. Their relationship would be marked by passion and conflict, reflecting the highs and lows of Flynn's personal journey. As he stepped onto the bustling streets of New York, he was unaware of the challenges and triumphs that awaited him in the vibrant world of film and theater. The city, with its bright lights and endless possibilities, was about to become the backdrop for his rise to stardom and the complexities of his romantic entanglements. Initially, Lily Damita did not respond favorably to Errol Flynn's advances. When he asked her to dance, she coolly replied that he might come back later. However, fate had other plans for their budding romance. Upon reaching Hollywood, Errol Flynn and Lily Damita found themselves drawn to each other, sparking a whirlwind romance that captivated many. Their marriage, chronicled in a biography by Tony Thomas, lasted 7 years, but was far from a blissful union. The couple's frequent arguments earned them the nickname the Battling Flynns, reflecting the intensity of their disputes. Their relationship was marked by passion and conflict, with both individuals having strong personalities that often clashed. Despite the love that initially brought them together, the challenges they faced in their marriage highlighted the complexities of their bond. The public was fascinated by their tumultuous relationship, which seemed to oscillate between love and strife, making them one of Hollywood's most talked-about couples of their time. Reports suggest that their struggles extended beyond verbal disagreements, often turning physical. Flynn would arrive on film sets with visible injuries purportedly inflicted by Damita, who would hurl objects at him during their heated altercations. The volatile nature of their relationship became a source of concern both within and outside the Hollywood studios. One particularly dramatic incident occurred during their one-year anniversary party. Flynn's tardiness prompted Damita to throw a bottle of champagne over his head. In response, he reportedly struck her in the face, breaking her tooth. This incident highlighted the intense and often dangerous dynamics of their marriage, raising eyebrows among friends and colleagues. The public persona of the charming actor clashed sharply with the reality of his troubled home life, revealing a darker side to the glamorous world of Hollywood. Their relationship was marked by a cycle of conflict that seemed to overshadow any moments of happiness they might have shared. The impact of such violence not only affected them, but also rippled through their social circles, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed the turmoil. Following the violent encounter that left both Errol Flynn and his companion injured, the aftermath was a significant concern for the studio. Recognizing the potential damage to Flynn's public image, especially as he was a rising star, the studio took swift action to intervene and cover up the incident. The official narrative crafted by the studio portrayed their injuries as the result of a car crash. This story emphasized Flynn's supposed heroism, claiming he swerved to avoid hitting a cat in the road. This carefully constructed narrative served to shield the true nature of the altercation from the public eye. By framing the incident in a way that highlighted Flynn's bravery, the studio aimed to protect his reputation and maintain his status as a beloved actor. The decision to manipulate the story was a strategic move to ensure that Flynn's career would not suffer from the fallout of the incident, allowing him to continue to thrive in Hollywood without the shadow of scandal looming over him. The relationship between Errol Flynn and legendary actor John Barrymore was a unique blend of mentorship, camaraderie, and eccentricity that left an indelible mark on Flynn's life and Hollywood lore. John Barrymore, renowned for his brilliance in the silent film era, was not only celebrated for his acting prowess, but also infamous for his bohemian lifestyle and penchant for revelry. By the time Flynn entered Barrymore's orbit, the older actor's career had suffered under the weight of alcoholism, yet he remained an idol to the aspiring young star. Flynn admired Barrymore's talent and charisma, often seeking his guidance in navigating the complexities of Hollywood. Their friendship was characterized by late-night escapades and theatrical discussions where Barrymore shared stories of his glory days. Despite Barrymore's struggles, he inspired Flynn to embrace his own artistic ambitions. This bond between the two actors highlighted the contrasting paths of their careers, with Flynn rising to fame while Barrymore's star began to fade. Their connection became a fascinating chapter in the annals of Hollywood history, showcasing the impact of mentorship and the complexities of friendship in the entertainment industry. After his tumultuous divorce from Lily Damita, Flynn sought solace in the company of John Barrymore, a man known for his extravagant lifestyle and hedonistic tendencies. Their friendship blossomed as Barrymore became a frequent guest at Flynn's home, bringing with him a whirlwind of unconventional behavior. The two actors shared a bond that was both entertaining and chaotic, as Barrymore's antics often crossed the line into the absurd. He was known to relieve himself out of windows and even in the fireplace, much to the shock and amusement of those around them. This outrageous behavior added a layer of unpredictability to their friendship, as Flynn found himself both entertained and exasperated by Barrymore's lack of restraint. The atmosphere in Flynn's home became a blend of camaraderie and chaos, reflecting the wild spirit of Hollywood during that era. Their time together was marked by laughter, excess, and a shared understanding of the pressures of fame, creating a unique chapter in Flynn's life that was as memorable as it was unconventional. The bond between Flynn and Barrymore reached its zenith when Barrymore passed away in 1942. Flynn was reportedly devastated by the loss of his mentor and close friend. The grief he felt was profound, as Barrymore had been a guiding figure in his life and career. However, Hollywood lore contains a macabre twist to this tale. A ghoulish prank was allegedly orchestrated by some of Flynn's famous peers, adding a dark layer to the story of their friendship. According to various accounts, including Flynn's own recollections, a plan was hatched to play a morbid prank on the grief-stricken Flynn. Some sources attribute this scheme to Humphrey Bogart and Peter Lorre, who were known for their mischievous antics. The details of the prank remain shrouded in mystery, but it is said that the intent was to shock Flynn during a time of deep sorrow. This incident highlights the often bizarre and unpredictable nature of Hollywood, where even in moments of tragedy, the line between humor and insensitivity can blur. The legacy of their friendship, marked by both affection and this unsettling prank, continues to intrigue those who study the lives of these iconic figures. Flynn claimed in his autobiography that it was R. Walsh, known for his roles in The Birth of a Nation and his directorial work on films like White Heat, who masterminded the macabre joke. The prank involved concocting a false story about being a friend of Barrymore's and paying an undertaker $100 to borrow the actor's body. Walsh and his accomplices surreptitiously transported Barrymore's corpse to Flynn's residence and positioned it in a chair. The inebriated Flynn, returning home, was greeted by the sight of the supposedly deceased Barrymore. The shock was so intense that Flynn purportedly fled his own house, prepared to drive away before the pranksters revealed the elaborate ruse. This darkly humorous episode, whether fact or embellishment, stands as a testament to the eccentricities and camaraderie that characterize Hollywood's golden age. The story reflects the wild spirit of the time, where boundaries of humor and decency were often pushed, creating unforgettable tales that still resonate today. Errol Flynn's notable absence from military service during World War II has been the subject of speculation and scrutiny, with various explanations offered to account for his non-participation in the conflict that consumed much of the world. Unlike many of his Hollywood peers, Flynn, known for his adventurous and swashbuckling screen persona, did not serve in the armed forces during this critical period. One common speculation, as detailed in You Must Remember This, suggests that Flynn's apparent indifference or fear may have contributed to his decision to avoid military service. Some friends, including his close companion David Niven, characterized Flynn as lacking loyalty and suggested that he didn't seem particularly concerned about the war. This perception of Flynn as detached from the global crisis raised eyebrows, especially given his public image as a daring hero on screen. The contrast between his cinematic roles and his real-life choices led to questions about his character and priorities during a time when many were sacrificing for their countries. Flynn's absence from the military spotlight remains a point of contention among historians and fans alike, as they ponder the complexities of his life and the choices he made during one of history's most tumultuous times. The perception surrounding Errol Flynn's health exemptions during World War II fueled the notion that he intentionally evaded military service. At 33 years old, Flynn was still within the eligible age range for enlistment, yet he was declared unfit for service due to health reasons. This decision, however, was met with suspicion and scrutiny from various quarters. Notably, J. Edgar Hoover questioned the legitimacy of Flynn's medical status, suggesting that there might have been more to the story than met the eye. Some speculated that the studio may have influenced the exemption to retain their valuable star, further complicating the narrative. Flynn's image as a beloved action hero contributed to the skepticism surrounding his purported unfitness for military duty. It was challenging for the public to reconcile the robust, adventurous characters he portrayed on screen with the idea that he was physically unfit for service. The contrast between his on-screen persona and his real-life situation led to lingering doubts about whether he received preferential treatment due to his star status. This suspicion remained in the public consciousness, casting a shadow over Flynn's legacy as both an actor and a figure of the era. Contrary to the suspicions and speculations, Flynn's medical conditions were indeed genuine and severe. Reports from the Los Angeles Times reveal a laundry list of health issues that contributed to his exemption from military service. These included a heart condition, recurrent malaria, chronic tuberculosis, multiple sexually transmitted diseases, and chronic pain. The severity and complexity of Flynn's health challenges were such that he sometimes collapsed while filming, further emphasizing the authenticity of his medical conditions. His heart condition posed significant risks, affecting his stamina and ability to perform in demanding roles. Recurrent malaria added to his struggles, causing fatigue and illness that interrupted his work. Chronic tuberculosis was another serious issue, impacting his respiratory health and overall well-being. The presence of multiple diseases complicated his health further, leading to ongoing medical concerns. Chronic pain was a constant companion, making it difficult for him to maintain the energy required for his acting career. These health challenges painted a picture of a man battling significant obstacles, which were often overlooked by the public and media. Flynn's struggles were not just rumors, they were real and had a profound impact on his life and career. Perched on the iconic Mulholland Drive in the Hollywood Hills, Errol Flynn's residence was a legendary haven of extravagance and eccentricity. The estate was described by the Wall Street Journal as part home, part casino, reflecting the flamboyant and unconventional nature of its owner. Flynn's house was not just a place to live. It was a manifestation of his adventurous lifestyle. The design of the home included hidden passageways, two-way mirrors, and peepholes, allowing Flynn to indulge in the intrigue of secretly observing his guests. This unique architectural style mirrored his larger-than-life persona and love for drama. The residence was a gathering place for Hollywood's elite, where lavish parties and extravagant events took place. Flynn's home was a true reflection of his character, filled with surprises and a sense of mystery that captivated all who entered. The combination of luxury and playful design elements made it a fitting backdrop for the life of one of Hollywood's most iconic figures. According to Flynn, the guest list for his Hollywood abode was nothing short of eclectic and vibrant. Flynn's residence became the epicenter of a nearly non-stop Hollywood party, drawing in a diverse crowd that included his friends, fellow movie stars, and even strangers. The revelry was so intense that, as recounted by the Wall Street Journal, there were occasions when the sheer number of people milling around made it challenging for Flynn to navigate his way to the front door. Upon returning home in his autobiography, Flynn vividly portrayed the motley crew of individuals who frequented his residence. His guests, as he described them, were a colorful mix of pimps, sports bums, down-at-the-heel actors, gamblers, athletes, sightseers, process servers, phonies, queers, salesmen, the famous and the infamous. Stars, bit players, stuntmen, and artists all mingled together. The diverse and eclectic gatherings mirrored the dynamic and multifaceted world of Hollywood during that era. Errol Flynn's autobiography reveals a man who embraced his reputation as a womanizer with pride. He describes his life filled with romantic conquests and the allure he seemed to possess that drew women to him. Flynn's residence on Mulholland Drive, known as the Mulholland House, became a focal point for his admirers. He vividly recounts how women would pursue him with relentless determination, often arriving at his door in droves. In his own words, he likened the sound of their knocks to ice drops in a hailstorm, emphasizing the intensity of their interest. Flynn humorously notes that he had to bolt the doors to keep them at bay, as he received marriage proposals daily. This portrayal of his life paints a picture of a man who not only enjoyed the attention, but also reveled in the chaos that came with it. His stories reflect a time when charm and charisma could open doors, and for Flynn, those doors were often filled with the hopes and dreams of countless women. Throughout his life, Flynn adopted an unapologetic stance when it came to accusations of wrongdoing in his romantic and sexual exploits. He often portrayed himself as a passive participant, deflecting responsibility for any perceived transgressions. As revealed in the podcast You Must Remember This, Flynn once explained away his well-known infidelity by suggesting that if an attractive woman entered his dressing room and initiated contact, he considered himself blameless. He famously stated, "If I'm sitting in my dressing room and a pretty girl comes in and pulls my zipper down, I'm not doing anything. I didn't touch her." This perspective highlighted his tendency to shift the blame onto others, reinforcing his image as a charming rogue. Flynn's reputation as a charismatic womanizer was so entrenched that it gave rise to the idiom "in like Flynn," a colloquial expression suggesting swift and effortless success. particularly in matters of romantic conquest. The phrase became synonymous with Flynn's own reported ease in winning over women, further solidifying his legacy as a figure of allure and controversy in Hollywood. In 1942, the apex of Errol Flynn's notoriety in the realm of romance came to light during a highly publicized trial that captivated the public's attention. This legal scrutiny thrust the details of his sex life into the spotlight, revealing a side of the actor that extended far beyond his swashbuckling persona on screen. The trial not only exposed the complexities of Flynn's personal affairs, but also highlighted the tumultuous nature of his relationships. As the courtroom drama unfolded, it became clear that Flynn's life was filled with scandal and intrigue, which only fueled the public's fascination with him. The revelations during the trial added layers of controversy to his already enigmatic image, transforming him from a beloved Hollywood hero into a figure of gossip and speculation. The media frenzy surrounding the trial painted a vivid picture of Flynn's escapades, making him a subject of both admiration and criticism. This moment in his life marked a significant turning point, as it shifted the narrative from his cinematic achievements to the sensational aspects of his private life, forever altering how he was perceived by fans and critics alike. The combination of his charm, talent, and the scandalous details that emerged during this period ensured that Flynn remained a captivating figure in the public eye, even as the trial revealed the darker corners of his existence. Errol Flynn's post-trial narrative, as he shared in his autobiography, paints a picture of a man who felt ensnared in a political whirlpool. He believed that both he and the young women who accused him were caught in a larger societal issue, a vortex that swept them into a tumultuous situation. This perspective allowed Flynn to maintain an unapologetic stance regarding his controversial romantic pursuits. The outcome of the trial did not deter him from seeking relationships with young women, even in the face of potential legal consequences. Shortly after the trial, Flynn began a new liaison with Nora Eddington, a young woman he met while still grappling with the specter of his legal troubles. Eddington worked behind a cigarette counter in the courthouse lobby, a poignant setting that underscored the audacity of Flynn's romantic endeavors. Their relationship blossomed amidst the backdrop of his ongoing challenges, highlighting Flynn's relentless pursuit of love and companionship despite the risks involved. Throughout the trial, Flynn openly admitted to keeping a watchful eye on Eddington. This revelation, coupled with his candid acknowledgement of being concerned about the possibility of imprisonment, underscored Flynn's cavalier attitude toward societal norms and legal consequences. His hope for one last fling during this tumultuous period exemplified a man seemingly undeterred by the gravity of his circumstances. Flynn's legal fate diverged from the possibility of imprisonment despite admitting to breaking the law. The repercussions seemed minimal, adding to the mystique surrounding his life. As quoted by Vanity Fair, Flynn boldly declared, "I might have been guilty under the law, that is, but everybody knew that the girls had asked for it, whether or not I had my wicked ways with them." This statement encapsulated Flynn's defiance and his belief that public opinion, shaped by his charismatic persona, held more weight than legal verdicts. His attitude reflected a complex interplay between celebrity culture and the legal system, revealing how charm and notoriety could influence perceptions of guilt and innocence. The trial, despite being a media spectacle, seemed to have little impact on the adoration fans felt for Errol Flynn. The accusations of taking advantage of teenage girls did not significantly alter the public's perception of their idol. However, for Flynn himself, the trial took a toll, leading to a series of personal and professional challenges that would shape the latter part of his life. The stress of the trial exacerbated Flynn's already heavy drinking habits, leading to a dangerous escalation in his substance use. In addition to alcohol, Flynn began experimenting with drugs, a coping mechanism that further fueled his downward spiral. Reports indicated that Flynn was frequently seen receiving vitamin injections, often laced with morphine, reflecting a pattern of self-destructive behavior. This reliance on substances not only affected his health, but also strained his relationships and career. As he struggled with these issues, the once charismatic star found himself increasingly isolated, battling demons that overshadowed his earlier successes. During a challenging period in his career, Errol Flynn faced significant obstacles that affected his once thriving film presence. His star power, which had been closely associated with swashbuckling action roles, began to diminish. The stagnation of his career was compounded by the emotional turmoil stemming from a high-profile trial, which plunged him into a deep state of depression. Flynn felt increasingly pigeonholed by the studio, which limited his roles primarily to those of an action hero. This typecasting frustrated him, as he yearned for more diverse opportunities to showcase his talent. However, when he attempted to branch out into different genres, these efforts often resulted in box office disappointments. Critics, who had once celebrated Flynn's charismatic performances, turned harsh, delivering unfavorable reviews that further impacted his self-esteem and career trajectory. The combination of these factors created a difficult environment for Flynn, as he struggled to reclaim his former glory in Hollywood. Financial struggles added another layer of stress, marking the first time since becoming a movie star that Flynn faced economic hardships. The confluence of personal and professional challenges created a perfect storm that impacted his mental and physical well-being. Flynn's reputation for excessive drinking became a warning for directors hired to work with him. Despite these warnings, Flynn continued to find ways to indulge in alcohol on set. One unconventional method involved injecting alcohol into oranges, which he would consume during filming. This clever yet alarming strategy highlighted the extent of Flynn's dependence on alcohol. Within a few years, Flynn's struggles extended to heroin addiction, further complicating his personal and professional life. His behavior on set became increasingly difficult, straining relationships with colleagues and leading to clashes with Warner Brothers. The long-standing partnership between Flynn and the studio eventually came to an end, marking a significant chapter in the actor's turbulent journey. In 1980, a fascinating and controversial theory emerged suggesting that Errol Flynn might have been a secret Nazi spy. This idea was brought to light by biographer Charles Hyams, who became suspicious after examining the political affiliations of some of Flynn's associates. Hyams delved into Flynn's connections, particularly focusing on individuals linked to the Nazi Party. One significant figure in Flynn's circle was Dr. H.F. Urban, an Austrian doctor and known member of the Nazi Party. Flynn had befriended Dr. Urban while in New Guinea. This relationship raised eyebrows, especially after Dr. Urban revealed that German intelligence had approached him to help establish a Nazi spy ring in Shanghai. However, despite these implications, Dr. Urban never explicitly confessed to being a Nazi spy himself. This ambiguity left many questions unanswered and fueled speculation about Flynn's true loyalties during a tumultuous time in history. The intrigue surrounding Flynn's life continues to captivate those who explore the complexities of his character and the era in which he lived. Another controversial acquaintance was Freddie McAvoy, a close friend of Flynn's, described as an anti-Semitic Nazi sympathizer. Charles Hyams claimed that during his research, he received confirmation from an individual whose husband had worked closely with Flynn. According to this account, Flynn allegedly divulged, while under the influence of alcohol, that he was covertly working for the Nazis. This revelation added a layer of intrigue to Flynn's already complex life story. However, the theory put forth by Hyams faced significant scrutiny and challenges. The 1990 book titled Errol Flynn, the Spy Who Never Was refuted many aspects of Hyams' claims. It highlighted that while Flynn did have connections to Nazi sympathizers, there was no concrete evidence proving he was a spy for the Nazis. This debate over Flynn's associations and alleged activities continues to spark interest among historians and fans alike, as they seek to understand the truth behind the man who was both a Hollywood icon and a figure shrouded in mystery. As detailed in You Must Remember This, Flynn's associations with individuals linked to the Nazi Party are confirmed. It is apparent that he was acquainted with people whose political leanings aligned with the Nazi regime. This connection raises questions about his political views and the nature of his relationships. However, the leap from association to active espionage remains unsubstantiated. Despite these associations, Flynn continued to work in Hollywood, where he produced some of his most poignant work in the twilight of his existence. His films during this period reflect a complex character, often embodying the swashbuckling hero that audiences adored. Yet, the shadow of his associations looms over his legacy, complicating the public's perception of him. The contrast between his cinematic achievements and the troubling aspects of his personal life creates a multifaceted narrative that continues to intrigue historians and film enthusiasts alike. The exploration of his life reveals the tensions between fame, politics, and personal choices that defined an era. After the commercial failure of his film The Adventures of Don Juan, Errol Flynn's career took a dramatic turn. Once celebrated as a charismatic action hero, the studio began to view him as more trouble than he was worth. This setback led to a significant decline in the types of roles he was offered, forcing Flynn to work abroad or in television, In an attempt to revive his career, he ventured into co-financing his own film, hoping for a triumphant comeback. Unfortunately, this endeavor turned disastrous when the production ran out of funds, leading to the cancellation of the shoot. Financial ruin soon followed, exacerbated by an enormous tax bill that Flynn had no means to pay. This situation forced him to take on small roles simply to make ends meet. Flynn's once flourishing career had hit a new low, leaving him struggling to regain the status he once enjoyed in Hollywood. As highlighted in You Must Remember This, the downturn in Flynn's professional fortunes paradoxically became a catalyst for what some consider the finest work of his career. Having long struggled against being typecast, Flynn found himself cast in emotionally complex roles, only after falling out of favor with the studio. These roles offered a departure from his earlier image, allowing him to explore new facets of his acting abilities. In 1957, Flynn portrayed the character of Mike Campbell, an exciting, debt-ridden, and frequently intoxicated war veteran in the film adaptation of Ernest Hemingway's novel The Sun Also Rises. The role, both funny and tragic, provided Flynn with an opportunity to delve into more nuanced and challenging territory in his acting career. The character's struggles mirrored aspects of Flynn's own life, marking a departure from the swashbuckling hero roles he had become synonymous with. This shift not only showcased his versatility, but also allowed audiences to see a different side of the actor, one that resonated with deeper emotional truths. Continuing on this path of exploration, Flynn took on the role of his old friend John Barrymore in the film Too Much, Too Soon. This adaptation of Barrymore's daughter Diana's memoir allowed Flynn to embody the complexities of a character whose life echoed his own. The film delved into Barrymore's turbulent life, showcasing his struggles with fame, addiction, and personal relationships. Flynn's portrayal offered a deep insight into the emotional turmoil that Barrymore faced, reflecting the highs and lows of a life lived in the spotlight. The character's charm and charisma were evident, but so were the darker aspects of his existence, which Flynn navigated with skill. This role provided Flynn with the opportunity to showcase his acting prowess in a way that resonated with his personal experiences. The parallels between Flynn's life and Barrymore's added layers of authenticity to his performance, making it a poignant exploration of the challenges faced by artists. The film served as a powerful reminder of the fragility of success and the human condition, allowing Flynn to connect with audiences on a profound